welcome to the Hannahcast, everybody. My name is Christian Hannah, and this is episode 21. Let me just raise this up a little bit. Episode 21 of the Hannahcast. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Forgive me if I keep looking over to the screen over there, seeing if everything's going swimmingly. Hold on. And there we go. Alright, guys. Welcome to episode 21 of the Hannahcast. This is gonna be full of fun topics today. HBO Max is launching next week. Although unlike the Disney Plus thing where I was saying like the five things I'm gonna watch first on Disney Plus, the reason why I'm not doing that on HBO Max is because we haven't gotten a full list of all the HBO Max content at launch. So there you go. But, however, we still got quite a few news topics today. But before we get to those new topics, if you're a new subscriber, why not? Well, first of all, give this video. There we go. Give this video a like. Give this video a like, a thumbs up. It helps out the video and whatnot. It will become more noticeable. Interacting with the video is apparently good for the algorithm or whatever. So yeah, if you can hit that like button, just fucking smash that like button. I swear to God, I want that like button smashed. And another thing I want smashed is that right there, that bell button. Before you hit the bell button, subscribe to that YouTube channel. I want to see you smash that subscribe button. We're already at 520 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. But I want to try to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can start doing super chats. And because that could really help out. And you can use the Google Rewards app you can download the Google Rewards app, and you can take brief little surveys that will accumulate in that will reward you in Google Play revenue, and you can use those to send me super chats, which would be amazing. But we can only do that if we hit 1,000 subscribers by you right there, that viewer. Yes, you. I'm talking to you, Fred. Actually, no one's named Fred nowadays. Isaiah. Yeah. Click that bell button. Click that subscribe button. First, click that like button. Click that subscribe button. And I want you to hit that goddamn bell button so you can be notified of more videos. Come on, people. Let's do this. Anyways, if you want to support me even further, then check out my Patreon account. Patreon.com/ChristianTylerHannah. There you get a bunch of cool little perks, including for $2 a month you get to have your name in the beginning of my videos, but also for $5 a month you can get everything else plus that. You can get your name in my videos, but also you can get the Hannahcast audio only edition, the Hannahcast after show, and many other perks, including audio commentaries of bad movies or good movies that have enough things to make fun of in there. We really need some Patreon supporters, guys. Anything any contribution can help. Any of them right there. Also, if you want to consider supporting me, but we can't do super chats and whatnot, and you can't, commit to a Patreon thing, then send me a tip at streamelements.com/Christian Bleh! I can't talk today. Send me a tip through streamelements.com/ChristiansReviews/tip. Send me at least $2 or more. You can select how much you want to send me, and it's pretty much the equivalent of a super chat, except you can't really use it for Google Play revenue. But you can only use it through actual cash. But if you can do that, if you can do Stream Elements tips, that would be lovely. I would love that. Also, if you want to catch up with any top 10 lists or ratings or whatnot, I do, but I don't usually put them in a YouTube video, then check out my Letterboxd, letterboxd.com/ChristianHannah for movie ratings, top 10 lists, and movies that I've just plain watched. I'm always updating it. My lists are always being updated. Yeah, even if you see a top 10 list on my YouTube channel, chances, like for example, my top 10 best movies of 2017, chances are that's kind of changed. Because again, if you look at my Letterboxd account and you look through my top 10 list of the best movies of 2017, you'll see that it looks very different. Even 2018 looks kind of different. I'm always changing things, you know? So yeah, like I said, check out letterboxd.com/ChristianHannah and check out all that good stuff. And also, don't forget, guys, at the end of this, after we get through the topics, we're gonna go through your we're gonna go through your through your live chat questions. So yeah, guys. And so, with that out of the way, let's get into our topics. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Anyways, our first topic is a pretty strange one. As we know, the lockdowns are preventing a lot of movies from being made, or at least like postponing movies from being made, and also you know, movies have to delay their release dates. Some movies have gone straight to streaming, like for example, Scoob and Trolls World Tour. Capone, a bunch of movies are just going straight to streaming and whatnot. And like I said, many other movies are just trying to stay away from streaming altogether and just hold off the release dates. Like for example, Fast and Furious 9 has pushed their movie off till like April of next year. Like, so that's just it's that kind of crazy stuff. Well, apparently the Hollywood Reporter mentioned something pretty interesting, saying that the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the academy that does the Academy Awards, the Oscars, apparently it's being like the Hollywood Reporter is saying that the Academy is considering postponing the Oscars till till the next year, which is pretty which is really surprising, because I don't know when was the last time they ever did that. That was like decades and decades ago. So, forgive me if I'm yawning. I'm not tired. I'm just I just yawn all the time. But anyways, this is really interesting because I didn't what's this going to do with if they do push this off? What's that going to do about how's it going to affect the Oscars in the next year? Does that mean all the movies that came out this year are ineligible? Does that mean the movies from this year and next year are going to be both eligible? Which could pose a problem, considering the reason why you see a lot of the really great Oscar movies being pushed to the end of the year, like October, November, December, and whatnot. Or the reason why most of the Oscar movies come out around then is because it's fresh in the voters' minds. It's like, oh yeah, I saw that recently. Huh. That's probably why they put Joker in October, because they thought they had an actual prestige film going on, and ultimately they did, and they got a Best Picture nomination. So again, that'll be really strange if they actually do postpone the Oscars. I don't know how they're going to go about this. I don't know. I don't know what this says about the movies. We just don't have a lot of information. Again, they haven't said they are going to do this. All they've said is, all we know is that the Hollywood Reporter, which is a very reliable movie news website, said that the Academy was considering it. And so, again, I know this segment was kind of short, but again, it's a strange world we live in. It's a strange world we live in, and we'll just have to figure out what comes next. So yeah, anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think the Oscars are going to be pushed to next year? And if so, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that means that all movies that came out this year are ineligible, or do you think they're going to try to combine both 2020 and 2021? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know your thoughts. The next topic we have today is Tenet. Now, if you don't know, Tenet is my most anticipated movie of the year. Again, if you saw my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020, you would see that Tenet, the new film by Christopher Nolan, is my number one most anticipated film of the year. And it's purely because Christopher Nolan is my favorite director of all time. Like, I think he is the greatest filmmaker ever, at least in my opinion. Like, because ooh, here's the thing about his movies. Ooh. There we go. His movies are at worst great and at best masterpieces. I don't know how he keeps doing it. Even movies that everyone, even movies that are, even The Dark Knight Rises, which many people would say is probably Christopher Nolan's worst movie, and some people don't even like that movie. I still think The Dark Knight Rises was excellent. I still think it's the best comic book movie of the 2010s decade. So that's saying, that's saying a lot. And Christopher Nolan, once again, I think is just a masterful filmmaker. Of course, he also did, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk. And funny enough, Dunkirk was in my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2017, but it wasn't all that high up because I didn't really care about not really care, it's just like, I just barely knew anything about the source, and I was like, is this, or the Battle of Dunkirk, I didn't really know anything about that. And so I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know, But then I saw Dunkirk, and Dunkirk, I was just like, holy shit, this movie's fantastic. I love this movie. And, of course, I have the movie on Blu-ray, on 4K on 4K Blu-ray now, which, if you guys have not seen Dunkirk, what are you doing? Watch Dunkirk. Dunkirk is one of the best war films I've ever seen in my life. It is unbelievable. And this new trailer for Tenet is really interesting, because, it does the thing you mainly see in Christopher Nolan movies, which is, or at least, in Christopher Nolan trailers, you get a taste of what this movie's kind of about, where it's not really time travel, but rather manipulating time, to where, for example, the characters have guns, but however, instead of firing the guns, these guns will take, for example, imagine a bullet is already against a wall, alright? Imagine a bullet that was shot is already against a wall. Well, these guns, pretty much, when you pull the trigger of these guns, it takes the bullet out of the wall and and whoever's in front of you, just gets them from behind or whatever. That is so creative. And the visuals of this look incredible. Again, I don't know how much visual effects are going into this movie, or if it's, actually practical and whatnot. I don't know. But I really think we're getting only a taste of what this movie's about. Also, of course, we get more scenes with John David Washington, who's the star of this movie, which is, again, I think is pretty cool, seeing how John David Washington is making it further in Hollywood. And of course, Robert Pattinson's in this movie, which, look, if Christopher Nolan's putting Robert Pattinson in his movie, that's Christopher Nolan is known for unusually great casting in his movies. For example, I know many of you guys don't remember this, hell, even I don't remember this, but when The Dark Knight was being made, and it was announced that Heath Ledger was going to play the Joker, everyone went, wait, Heath Ledger, the guy from Brokeback Mountain and A Knight's Tale, is going to be the Joker? What are you talking about? And then Heath Ledger gave a performance so good that he won an Oscar for it, for Best Supporting Actor, which shocked everyone. And then, in Dunkirk, as, the movie I just pulled out, in the movie Dunkirk, one of the soldier characters is played by Harry Styles. And yes, the Harry Styles from One Direction was put in a Christopher Nolan war film. And honestly, I think gave one of the best performances in that movie. Which, again, is just incredible. Christopher Nolan is, Christopher Nolan is just so great at unusual casting. Granted, it's not as unusual to think of Robert Pattinson in a great movie now, but this is probably the first, high-profile one he's been in. The Lighthouse is probably next, but nobody really knows that. The Lighthouse is not really a big-name film. But Tenet is, and so that's cool that Robert Pattinson is getting into a bigger name film. Also, once again, Michael Caine's in this movie. He's once again in this movie, and apparently Kenneth Branagh is the villain of this movie. That is amazing. If you don't know who Kenneth Branagh is, he narrated the Walking With series. Like, he narrated Walking with Dinosaurs, Walking with Beasts, Walking with Monsters, and he also was in he's also he also played a character in Dunkirk as well. Wow, Dunkirk keeps being brought up a lot. But he's also really known for his directing, where like Kenneth Branagh directed movies like Hamlet. He directed what was it? He also directed Thor. He directed the first Thor movie. He directed Cinderella. He directed Murder on the Orient. And yes, what I mean by Cinderella, like the 2015 Disney remake of Cinderella. He directed that. And he also directed Murder on the Orient Express, which he also starred in. And he's playing the villain in this movie, which I think is really cool. Again, there's not a whole lot in this trailer. There's not really, like, I'm still not exactly clear as to what this movie's about, but I'm going by Christopher Nolan's track record. He's earned the benefit of the doubt at this point for me. Whatever I don't know about this movie, I'm just like, he's gonna make it work. It's Christopher Nolan. So anyway, guys, did you watch the trailer for Tenet? And by the way, apparently Tenet actually premiered on Fortnite, which I find very strange, but whatever. Have you seen the trailer for Tenet? Watch it. I mean, I hope you watched it before watching this video. But also, watch the trailer and let me know your thoughts. Anyway, guys, on to our next topic today. Let's talk about the Snyder Cut of Justice League. This has been a really frustrating topic for me because, let me give you some backstory. One, I thought I've had a really strange relationship with Justice League. I loved it when I first saw it. I thought it was one of the best comic book movies ever made. But now, in recent rewatchings, I kind of think it's just okay. Because I start to notice more and more problems, and I was like, it's an alright movie, I guess, but there are quite a few problems. So I'll get more into those problems when we, a little bit later, but ever since it was said, basically, where this all started was that Zack Snyder was directing Justice League, but however, right before they had to do reshoots, his daughter committed suicide, which is very tragic, and he had to go. He's like, I gotta attend my family. And so, while he was gone and whatnot, they had to get someone else to, direct the reshoots. So they got in Joss Whedon, who wrote and directed the first two Avengers movies, and also created Firefly and whatnot, to rewrite and direct a lot of Justice League. He wrote so much that he actually has a co-writing credit in the film. So yeah, and reportedly they had how do I explain it? The finished version of Justice League that we got was reportedly very different from what the original vision was. So ever since then, people were saying #release the Snyder Cut, #release the Snyder Cut, and well, for one, it got to a point where I thought it was just annoying, because I'm so and every other week or whatever, the hashtag would start trending. And I was like, oh, god damn it, please stop. And here's the thing. I would be interested in seeing a Snyder Cut of Justice League. I would be. But I don't doubt that there is a Snyder Cut. That there is a version of Justice... Because I also forgot to mention, they had to, whatever. I do believe there was a version of Justice League that was shot and put together, but I always said, there's no post-production on it. There's no color grading, there's no sound editing, no sound mixing, no, especially no visual effects. So I was like, do you guys really want to see an unfinished movie? A movie that just has, just seeing green screens and strings and whatnot, or storyboards. Do you really want to watch that? And then, lo and behold, earlier this week, it was announced that HBO Max in 2021 will release Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. And so there you go. But here's what really got me interested. Here's what, because but here's what really got me turned on to watching, or here's what really got me interested in wanting to watch this. I was like, oh, okay. Apparently, Warner Brothers is reportedly going to go all out on the Snyder Cut, meaning they're going to finish the color grading. They're going to finish the sound editing and sound mixing. They're going to finish the visual effects. They're going to rescore the movie, which, reports say it could be anywhere from $20 to $30 million. Some people say it could be even more than that. But you know what? I'm going to be honest. This actually does sound interesting now. Because, I'm not really interested in watching a version of a movie that's just not finished or whatever. Just seeing, no post-production or whatnot. Because, regardless of if the story's better or not, if there's, no production value, that, at least in my opinion, that just makes it way worse than the original version, just by production standpoints alone. So, yeah. But, seeing as how they actually are going to finish it, if they are actually going to finish it, then, again, yeah, this does pique my interest, because, in my opinion, I think Man of Steel is great. I thought Batman v Superman was decent, but I thought the Ultimate Edition was better. I still think the main issue was still that they tried to cram in a Batman vs Superman storyline with a Doomsday storyline. I feel like they should have saved Doomsday for way later on, but that's besides the point. And so, what I will say, talk to you guys about now is, since they are going to spend millions of dollars to actually finish this thing, let me give you the 4 things from Justice League that I think the Snyder Cut should fix. Now, there are some things that I don't think can be fixed. For example, Steppenwolf is going to be the villain. He's still going to be the villain. But what things can you change? Again, for all and basically what these things are, these are main, some of the main problems I had with Justice League, and in my opinion, they were big problems, that I feel like I'm hoping the Snyder Cut could fix. One, and this is probably a really important one, that I really think they, one of the most important ones. Make Batman badass again. Make Batman a badass again. Because Batman in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is my favorite I think it's the greatest iteration of a live-action Batman we've ever had on screen. This guy was a ruthless, violent motherfucker. He was, again, how I explain, he was, a really rugged individual. He was the Batman. When he fought, the warehouse scene in Batman v Superman alone, the warehouse fight where he's taking down all these goons, is one of the best action scenes I have ever seen in a superhero film. Let alone a Batman movie. This is definitely Batman, the best Batman action we ever got. And I think, in all honesty, you could make the argument that in Batman v Superman, he was kind of the villain of that movie, if you think about it. Because this was pretty much Superman's movie, at least especially when you get to the Ultimate Edition. This is Superman's movie, and yet this guy, this Batman, is trying to kill Superman. And again, you can understand why, but at least for me, he was kind of the villain of Batman v Superman. Now, I'm not saying make Batman the villain of Justice League. No, he went through an arc in Batman v Superman where he became a better man. Don't change that. But in Justice League, they really kind of softened him up like a big teddy bear. He wasn't all that badass. He kind of just oh, my leg. Is it broken? Is it bleeding? Yep, it's bleeding. Again, they just kind of sucked out all the badassness of Batman and just kind of wussified him. They kind of wussified Batman in Justice League. And so, if the Snyder Cut of this If the Snyder Cut of Batman in this in if Batman in the Snyder Cut of Justice League is more like the one from Batman v Superman, I hope we get that again, because Batman, I feel like, was done a little bit dirty in Justice League, and I feel like if they can just make him a badass like they did in Batman v Superman. Again, don't make him a killer or whatnot like he was in that movie, but again, show that rage, show that kind of Batman rage. I want to see that kind of rage from Batman. So if they can do that, then that would be fantastic. I would love to see that. Second, and I think this is a good one to talk about as well. The second change, have Junkie XL do the music again. Now, if you don't know who Junkie XL is, he's the guy who did the music for Mad Max Fury Road, and also, along with Hans Zimmer, did the score for Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. And Batman v Superman has probably, at least in my opinion, the best score I've ever heard in a comic book movie. Like, it was so cool. Again, say what you will about the movie, but I thought the score was awesome. Like, it was, like, you could just imagine the imagery in your head, and it's just like, oh, God, I love that. However, in Justice League, they brought in Danny Elfman. Now, if you don't know who Danny Elfman is, he's the guy who does, like, 90% of Tim Burton's movies. Like, he does the music for 90% of Tim Burton's movies. Like, he's done the score for Batman, he's done the score for the Spider-Man trilogy, Hulk, try to think of... Again, all that stuff. And so, you want to take the guy who... Again, I get it, like, he scored some of the best superhero movies, or at least some of the best superhero movie scores of all time. But here's the problem with score, though. You need to have a composer who can match the style of that film. What I mean by that is, like, when you hear the score of Batman v Superman, like, again, I would suggest you guys listen to the soundtrack for Batman v Superman. It's awesome. That music so fits within that world. But Danny Elfman's music in Justice League was so forgettable. It was, I could not tell you a single track from that movie. I honestly could not. And I feel like it just was not a good match. It would have been a lot better just to have Junkie XL come back and do the music again. And if they can get Junkie XL to compose the score for the Snyder Cut of Justice League, that would be great. And give him time to prepare. Give this guy enough time to, show him what you've got, which I'm pretty sure that, like, you can do that. You can do that. Show him what you've got, and just let him go to work. Just have him figure out, okay, what is the best way for us to do this movie? And I would really love for Junkie XL to come back and do the score for Batman v Superman. Because again, for Justice League. Because again, whenever you guys get the chance, go on YouTube or Spotify, I don't know where, and look up the soundtracks for Mad Max Fury Road and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Because those two scores are just, oh god, man, they are so cool. They're great if you wanted to work out or whatever. I don't work out because I'm lazy. But yeah. Problem number 2 from Justice League. As much as I love Danny Elfman, take his score out and have Junkie XL do the music instead. Number 2. Problem number 3. Justice League problem number 3 that the Snyder Cut should definitely fix: the color grading. I know this is a weird thing to say, but the color in Justice League was very weird. Because if you look at especially if you look at the first trailers for Justice League, they were very different from how the film now looks. And it's also really different from how the other Zack Snyder, movies look. Or hell, even Wonder Woman looks different from Justice League. And basically the way I'm getting at is that, you can, especially when you look at these images, look at Lois Lane. Doesn't that look a little bit weird? Look up Lois Lane from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. that image of Lois Lane up there, Amy Adams, just looks very strange. And that's because they filmed Batman, they filmed Justice League to look a certain way, to have colors in a certain way, and yet, they filmed the movie to look a certain way, but then went to color grading and made it more colorful, even though it wasn't filmed to be that way. Like, it's very strange. Again, do you guys see what I'm talking about? Like, how this kind of looks a little bit artificial? Like, there's, like, a TV movie kind of vibe to the appearance of the color. I don't know what it is, but I feel like they need to tone it down a bit. Like, as much as some people have criticized the color of Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, it didn't look I don't think it looked artificial. It didn't look weird. Like, at least in my opinion, it looked like, even though those movies weren't all that colorful, even then I've seen way less colorful movies in my life, it matched the tone of those movies. This, again, just does not fit in this Zack Snyder world, or the DC universe. It just doesn't feel like that. And so, if they can fix the color grading, just use the color that you were going to, use the color grading that you were going to use initially. If you could just do that, then it would look a lot better, in my opinion. I just do think it would look a lot better. So yeah, problem number 3 from Justice League, they need to fix the color grading, because again, it just looks really artificial, and they need to scale it back a bit. Just go with what you were going to do first. And so there you go. And now finally, another problem from Justice League that I really feel like they should fix, and this is probably where a lot of the budget's going to be going too. Fix the visual effects. Because I'm going to be honest, Justice League, a movie that has a production budget of $300 million, has some pretty shitty visual effects. Like, holy God. And you can, a lot of this actually is attributed to the head of Warner Brothers at the time, who was, Kevin Tsujihara. Basically, he had the option to, looks like I need to, I'm just gonna do this a little bit. So you guys can, see a little bit better. See this chart. But yeah. Now if you don't know who Kevin Tsujihara is, Kevin Tsujihara was the head of Warner Brothers at the time. And he had the option, and the crew knew that, we don't have enough time to finish this. Like, we need to be able to finish this movie. But, however, he decided not to do that, and instead, just keep that November 2017 release date so that he could get his bonus at the end of the year. Yeah, that's why the effects look that bad. They had the opportunity to just push off the release date of Justice League so that they could perfect the effects and perfect everything in it. And yet, he didn't. He chose not to, which I think is really stupid. And the reason why, if you're wondering why are all these movies down here, these are movies with production budgets. Yeah, these are some movies with, fantastic visual effects, and yet, and when you look at, two of them, Avengers Infinity War and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, have budgets that were the same as Justice League. All the others have budgets that were lesser than that of Justice League's. The Lion King remake, which has the best visual effects I've ever seen in my life and should have won Best Visual Effects at the Oscars this year. I know I keep bringing it up, but I'm so sorry. The Lion King cost $260 million to make. Let's look at... Yeah, Avatar cost $237 million. Man of Steel, which has the best effects of the DC universe in my opinion, cost $225 million. The Lone Ranger, $225 million. let me look through this. Let's see. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, $275 million. Spider-Man 2 from 2004 cost $200 million. Titanic from 1997 cost $200 million. Tron Legacy, a movie that came out 10 years ago, that cost $200 million. The Dark Knight, a movie that came out more than 10 years ago, had a budget of $185 million. Kong Skull Island, $185 million. Blade Runner 2049, $185 million. The Jungle Book, a movie that came out, again, some of the best visual effects I've ever seen in my life, had a budget of $175 million. Doctor Strange, $165 million. Interstellar, $165 million. Inception, a movie that's 10 years old, $160 million. The Irishman, a Netflix movie, cost $159 million. War for the Planet of the Apes, 152? Yeah, is that 150? Yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes cost $152 million. Mad Max Fury Road, $150 million. Gemini Man, $140 million. The Revenant, $135 million. Prometheus, $125 million. Life of Pi, again, some of the best visual effects ever, $120 million. Gravity, $110 million. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, $100 million. Christopher Robin, a movie with stuffed animals that looked so damn real, only cost $75 million. And the lowest one on this specific list is Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, at $63 million. All of these movies had production budgets that were, the first two on there were just as expensive as Justice League. And all the others. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy combined. The entire Lord of the Rings trilogy combined, all together, cost $297 million. And yet they looked way better than Justice League. That is just embarrassing. So, if the vast majority of these movies here had incredible visual effects, and yet were less expensive than Justice League, and Justice League's visual effects were that bad, I'm sorry, there's no excuse for that. That is just inexcusable in terms of the studio, or in this case, Kevin Tsujihara, just rushing the product without making sure everything looks good, because I'm telling you this, audiences do not like bad visual effects. They want to get sucked into the action. Why do you, granted it helps to have a good story as well, but audiences want to see really good visual effects. And so you're not going to put in the extra effort to make sure the visual effects artists have enough time to finish them? That is just stupid. And so, and this is the thing I'm hoping so much from this is probably second next to Batman being a bad, make Batman a badass. This is probably number two. Number two, yeah, make sure the visual effects are really good. You don't even have to make them Man of Steel quality. At least Batman v Superman, because Batman v Superman's visual effects, while they didn't look real per se, they were creative. They were creatively pleasing to the eye. If you can at least do that with the visual effects in Justice League, that would be good enough. Just make sure these visual effects are finished, because if these movies had budgets as high as your movie, or in many of these cases less, and your visual effects were that bad, you really need to reevaluate your timing. I know I spent on this one. I know I spent a lot of time on this one, but I really felt like I had to do that. I really feel like I had to just really point out that these movies, most of these movies were less expensive than Justice League, and they had way better visual effects. Come on, whenever you're doing this Snyder Cut, put some money into those visual effects. Put some time into the visual effects. Don't be afraid to even put this off to late 2021. Just give the visual effects artists enough money and time to finish all this and make it look really good. If you can do that, that would be great. And so, yeah, guys. Oh, wait. Oh! Whoopsies. Let's see. I forgot to put up a topic here. Let me just, oh boy, I'm gonna look really stupid. Oh, I'm gonna look really stupid. Oh boy, oh. Oh boy, man, I'm gonna look so stupid. Because I have to get to the next topic, but I forgot to put a graphic up for this thing. Ah, damn it. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Oh, I'm just an embarrassment to my fans. Oh well. So yeah, let me just very quickly get this. Let me just yeet. Freaking yeet, yo. Yeet, 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 yeet. Alright, cool. Alright. Alrighty, there we go. Oh, wait, where am I? Oh, no, I need to... Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm back. Woo! Anyway, guys, so yeah, what are your thoughts on the Snyder Cut of Justice League being completed and then released next year? What do you hope can realistically be changed from the original version of Justice League? And just to be clear, I'm not, I'm not gonna make this an anti-Joss Whedon or anti-Marvel thing. I'm not. No. Because here's the thing. Do I think it was a mistake to put in Joss Whedon to try to replicate what Zack Snyder did? Yeah. Because I feel like these two directors just don't mash well together. But I'm not gonna blame Joss Whedon on this, because, he was given, no time to do this movie. He would, no time whatsoever. And this is clearly a studio issue. Usually I blame filmmakers, but this is a very unique scenario where, the filmmaker was given no time to make sure anything went right. And I'm not, hardcore DC fan. I'm not a hardcore Marvel fan. No, I love Marvel and DC equally. I just want to make that clear that I'm not trying to hate on Marvel or Joss Whedon, because I do like Joss Whedon, I do love Marvel as well. But it's again, I just don't want people to make this into a Marvel versus DC thing. Come on, love everything. Love everything, man. I mean, you don't have to love... I mean, you don't, or how I describe this. Just don't build barriers between the two. How about that? Just don't treat each other like assholes. Just you know what? Yeah, cool. And just be willing to give any comic book movie a chance. So anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on the Snyder Cut of Justice League being finished and released? And let me know your thoughts. Let me just get a drink here so I can quench my thirst a bit. You close. Anyways. So yeah. Anyways, now to the final topic today, and this is a pretty random topic. I decided to do a little segment on my channel that maybe I could do, because I have, weirdly enough, my name is Christian's, my channel name is Christian's Reviews. Yeah, I have not been doing a lot of reviews lately. So, if you guys are interested, I might try to start reviewing a movie every week, and whatnot. And some of these are going to be movies that I've just not seen before, and I'm just going to, try to see for the first time, and then, hey, yeah, now I've seen them now. And so, this week, after 10 years of this movie being out, I finally watched, and I'm going to review, The Social Network. Which, if you don't know, The Social Network uh, is sort of like a biopic of Mark Zuckerberg, played by Jesse Eisenberg in this film, and how he created Facebook, and also the enemies he made along the way, and the kind of scummy things that he was involved in when making Facebook. And it also follows this other character named Eduardo, played by Andrew Garfield, and we also see that there's another person in the mix, played by Justin Timberlake. I don't really know the other two's names. I do know that the Andrew Garfield guy is like the real guy is named Eduardo, or at least the guy that Andrew Garfield plays is named Eduardo. But that's all I really know at this point. I'm not good with names. But however, yeah, this movie has been said to be like one of the best movies of the decade. Everybody loves The Social Network. And it won. I do know that it won Oscars for like it won a best film editing Oscar. I think. I think it also won best original score, and it also won best adapted screenplay. And it was nominated for quite a few Oscars as well. Like it was like Jesse Eisenberg was nominated for best actor. This movie was nominated for best picture, and a lot of people got upset that Andrew Garfield didn't get nominated for best supporting actor. And so, what are my thoughts on The Social Network? Yeah, it's fantastic. This movie's intriguing as all hell. Like, I was initially kind of unsure about Jesse Eisenberg's performance because he seemed a little bit one note ish, but then I just kind of remembered. Oh wait, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg's kind of like that too. He's like Mark Zuckerberg is really weird. He's a really weird man. Like he just never comes across as fully human, even when he tries to do human like if you guys, I don't know if you guys watch the H3H3 podcast, but watch the one with JonTron, and they kind of talk about they kind of talk about Mark Zuckerberg and how he went on the like I don't know what year it was, but like he went around the country to do normal American things, like he could see how what Americans go through every day. And he's very strange. Whenever he tries to be human, he ends up being less of a human. Like, he ends up looking less. He looks more like a robot when he's trying to do human things. Like, for example, he was just eating a sandwich. Like, just eating this roast beef sandwich. I don't know what it is. But then he posed for a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. And, he just went like, I don't know. It's weird. I'm like, dude, like, it's like you could. It's always like, he's trying to understand people, but he doesn't quite know how to. And I feel like Jesse Eisenberg captured that really well. Like, he actually did kind of, again, at first he seemed kind of one note, but at the same time, that really is how Mark Zuckerberg is. Like, he's just not, he just doesn't quite get it. He just doesn't quite get how to be a person. And even Mark Zuckerberg said that, he, like, all the outfits you see Jesse Eisenberg wear, he actually wears that stuff. Like, that's actually his wardrobe. Which is kind of funny. Andrew Garfield in the movie as well was fantastic. Like, I can see why people were upset that he didn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, although I will say I still need to see quite a few of the people who did get nominated for Best Supporting Actor before I make a judgment call. But I will say Andrew Garfield was fantastic. And he was really, I feel like making Andrew Garfield the emotional centerpiece of the movie was a really smart move, because, like, you don't get a lot of emotion out of Jesse Eisenberg's character, which, again, that's supposed to be the case. Like, Mark Zuckerberg is just not an emotional guy. At least he doesn't come across that way. Oops, sorry. But Andrew Garfield, and so that's where Andrew Garfield's character, Eduardo, comes in. Like, he is the emotional centerpiece. Like, you really feel for this guy. You really feel, like, I'm not going to get into spoilers or whatever. Granted, it's a movie that's 10 years old, but if you want to see this movie, it's on Netflix. The Social Network is on Netflix. But yeah, like, he was fantastic in the movie. I really did love Andrew Garfield. Justin Timberlake wasn't that bad either. He was pretty good. Nothing Oscar worthy. But again, he worked good. He worked well for the film. This movie really does rely on its screenwriting. The writing in this movie is just like, I could not take my eyes off of the screen. I was really wondering what was going to happen next. I was like, I was always like, granted, it's kind of, it's weird. Like Mark Zuckerberg, I wouldn't say is the full-on bad guy in this movie, but he does some really douchey things. But you almost kind of want to see him like succeed at it. It's like it's almost like the Nightcrawler effect. Although the guy in Nightcrawler was, and I mean like the movie Nightcrawler, not Nightcrawler from X-Men, but like the movie Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. You kind of almost want to see him, get like work his way up and just go like, wow, this is like, I wonder where this is gonna go, and that again, it's really really cool. Another pretty damn good performance in the movie was Armie Hammer as the Winklevoss twins. And yes, when you're watching the movie, you are watching one man play two people, and I honestly keep forgetting that that Armie Hammer is one dude in this movie because like he really does sell the twins very well. It's really jarring, and the effect to make them to make him two different people was done really well as well. So yeah, um, but yeah, like I'm trying to think of a lot. Oh yeah, another thing that people have said about the Social Network is that especially with where Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg are today, the movie's kind of aged a little bit too well, and I'd say they're right. This movie, there are some movies that don't age well, where it's like, oh yeah, that didn't hold up well at all, or at least certain elements of a movie. And then there's some movies like The Social Network where you're like, oh god, the seeds of what was to of what would eventually of what was eventually to come, you can see in this movie. You can see how like where Facebook was going in this movie, where Mark Zuckerberg was going when you're watching this movie. And it's shocking. It's like, like we should have seen this coming. And that's a really and look, that's when you know you got a really good movie on your hands where, where it ironically enough becomes, more relevant than it becomes more relevant than it was when it came out. And this movie's 10 years old. Again, guys, if you have not seen The Social Network, I would definitely suggest watching The Social Network. It's a really fantastic film with really great performances, a really great screenplay by Aaron Sorkin, which Aaron Sorkin is just a really great writer. Like he also wrote, he also did the writing for shows like The West Wing and The Newsroom, and he also did other movies like Moneyball, and he did Molly's Game, which actually he also directed. Again, guys, check out The Social Network if you can. I think it's on Netflix. So, again, I don't know what else to say. Just, I would absolutely check out The Social Network. It's way more relevant now than it was back then. It's just a damn great movie, and I can see why people hold it up as high as a regard as they do. So anyway, guys, have you seen The Social Network? Let me know. Let me know in the chat, down in the side or whatever, or below. I don't know where your chat thing is, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. And so that wraps it up for the topics, guys. Uh, if you want to, if you want, that wraps up for the topics. We're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna get to your questions. How does that sound? All right, all right, cool. So, see you in a bit, and yeah. Hey, have you subscribed yet? Have you liked this video? Have you shared it to your friends? No? Why? Why have you not done that? Are you trying to make me sad? You trying to make me cry? Please, just give this video, just smash that like button if you will. Just, like, share the video. Yeah, share it to your friends. Share it to your Twitter and your Facebook. Or whatever. Emails. Who cares? Subreddits. Whatever. Just share this video. Subscribe. Click that subscribe button. And also hit that bell. Just smash that bell. I want to, like, you'll get notified of all the live streams that are coming up and videos. But please subscribe. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers. Do you want to see me cry? I don't think so. Anyways, back to the show. Hey guys, anyways, we're gonna be getting into live chat questions. Here we are with the live chat questions, and we're gonna get, started with Polk. Like Pokesaurus says, Polk. Polk. Pokesaurus says, howdy! I don't say howdy, but hi. Let's see, hi everyone. Hi everyone. That's Nick SpongeBob Personal. Pokesaurus says, howdy. Hi. Let's see. Nick SpongeBob Personal says, I never saw the original version of Justice League. Should I see the original first or the new version? I still would suggest seeing the new version, the original version, wherever you can. At least so you can get again, I thought it was alright. I mean, it's not a bad movie in my opinion. I thought it was okay. I do have quite a few issues with it, but there is a lot to be improved. There is a lot to be improved, but I would suggest watching it. Let's see. Pokesaurus says, I've not seen The Social Network. You should see The Social Network. It's amazing. I mean, granted, I was 10 years late to watching it, so what do I know? But I would suggest watching it. It's great, at least in my opinion. My questions. Have you ever watched River Monsters? No, I haven't. I know what it's about, but I never really bothered watching it. Do you watch Lost Tapes once in a while? I try to watch them around October. I do try to do that. Because, it's a spooky season. But, I do try to watch them. I didn't get to finishing them, last year, which I probably should have. Yeah. But, however, this year's going to be a little bit different. So, yeah. Are there any movie you care so little for you don't care about spoiling them for other people? I think what you mean is, is there any movies I don't really care if I spoil them to people? No, I don't do that. No, I don't do that. No, even if it's a movie I hate, unless it's how do I explain it? I generally just don't spoil movies to people. I don't. Unless they tell me, hey, I don't mind if you say that. I don't care if you say that to me. At least if it's in person. Let's see. But yeah, I don't spoil. I tend not to spoil movies to people, even if it's a movie I don't like. Unless it's something, well, actually, It's hard to describe. It's nowadays it's kind of hard to not say, whenever you're talking about the Winter Soldier, it's kind of hard not to give away, unless things are so obvious in future material. For example, we know nowadays that that Bucky Barnes is the Winter Soldier. Nobody knew it back then when Captain America the Winter Soldier came out. But considering everybody refers to him as Bucky in these movies, it's I don't know if it's really a spoiler anymore. Or, saying that, at least, for example, another great example, Star Wars The Force Awakens. keep in mind, back then we knew barely anything about that movie when the trailers were out. There were still so many theories. One of my theories was that maybe Kylo Ren was, in reality, Luke Skywalker who went to the dark side. It's a stupid theory, yeah. Uh, but but yeah, like, but of course it turned out to not be true. So like certain thing, like it's kind of, again, it's a really hard game to play. Like I just generally try not to spoil things for people, especially if it's especially if it's like, someone dies. I definitely try to stay away from that. Even like yeah, even if it's a movie that came out years and years ago, like I'm still not gonna spoil what happens in The Wizard of Oz. Because granted, that movie came out in 1939, but I still want to be nice about it. So there you go. Um. Oh yeah. Wait. Oh wait. Oh, he forgot to say. Oh man, I forgot to answer his question. Like Nick SpongeBob Personal also says, "Do you like cooking shows?" I personally couldn't give a shit about cooking shows. Not that if you do, that's great. But like the closest thing to cooking shows I'll watch is like if like maybe Markiplier makes, like, for example, there's like a Markiplier makes pie, Markiplier makes pretzels. But it's like the anti-cooking show where like he's like kind of fucking around with his friends and just being stupid. That's the closest thing to a cooking show I'll watch. Now, if there's like, if I need to actually try and make something that I have no idea how to make, then yeah, I'll probably look up something on YouTube and how to figure it out. But now there are some food related things I'll watch. Like, for example, I sometimes watch Hot Ones. The show where like they have celebrities come in and eat really hot wings while being interviewed questions. That's always fun. I love Gordon Ramsay's episode. Like that was just hilarious. Or Eric Andre. Eric Andre was just a great episode. That was a great episode. But no, I generally don't watch cooking shows. Let's see. What's a good movie you want a remake or reimagining of? Uh, well, yeah, I've answered this question quite a bit actually. Let me look up some of the ones that definitely. How about like, you know what? How about this? How about I do a top 10 list uh next week of the top 10 movies I'd want to see remade. Again, I'm going to have to wait for your response here, because it's a bit of a again, there's a bit of a delay between me speaking now and you receiving the video. So like, let me know. I wouldn't be mind. But yeah, like I don't yeah, like let me know. I wouldn't mind doing just overall a top 10 list of movies I want to see remade. Granted, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for it, but I don't care. Like my number one movie of this year was The Lion. Well, I mean, my number one movie of my number one best movie of 2019 was the Lion King remake. So, I mean, like that's really a lot of hate. Or hell, just look at my Spider-Man reviews or my Star Wars reviews or whatever. Or God, try to look through the comments section of Hillary's America, the secret history of the Democratic Party. People giving me a lot of shit for that. Uh, but uh, but yeah, like I got yeah. So yeah, I will try. How about I do that? Like I'll probably do next week. I'll do a top 10 list of the top 10 movies I want to see remade, or maybe I'll do an editorial video on that. Yeah, maybe I can pull out an editorial video next week, or like sometimes this upcoming week, or hell, maybe I'll just maybe I do it on the stream. I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. That would be pretty cool. Uh, have you ever seen Q the Winged Serpent? If you're talking about the if you're talking about Q the Serpent God, the episode from Lost Tapes, yeah, I actually covered that in my Lost Tapes review. That I think it's the worst episode of Lost Tapes in my opinion, and how it was so stupid, cheaply made, and just eh. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a movie called Q the Winged Serpent. I don't know. Pokesource also says, "Are you a fan of B movies? If so, what do you have a favorite?" I don't know. I don't watch that many B movies. Although there could be some B movies you could remake or reimagine in some way. Oh damn, maybe I should probably try to include those as well. Yeah, yeah. I have not seen a lot of B movies. Um, Although there are definitely some, at least just from when when I look at the trailers and whatnot, I can go like, I can see how this could be really cool nowadays. Like imagining this, like yeah, who knows? Why Murray? How much do you hate Murray? Is that a Joker reference? I don't know if that's a Joker reference. It has to be a Joker reference. Uh, the only other Murray I know of is like Murray from Impractical Jokers. He has also Pokestars has also clarified. No, Q the Winged Serpent is an actual film. Never heard of it, so yeah, I have not seen it. Uh, Nick SpongeBob Personal says, to you, what makes a movie rushed? Again, well, it all is up for personal opinion. Okay, the way I view a movie to be rushed may not be the same way as how you feel a movie is rushed. So keep in mind, this is just my opinion. And there's not even really a way for me to describe it. I just feel it. Like, especially, like, for example, with, especially it especially feels rushed especially when news outlets start coming out. Like, for example, it has been shown that, Justice League was rushed, because, Kevin Tsujihara just wanted his bonus at the end of the year instead of doing the smart thing and pushing Justice League off for a few months. Again, that would have because like when you look at the visual effects, like when you have a budget of $300 million, like there's no excuse to have shitty visual effects. There's no excuse for that. A lot of bad visual effects. When you look at a lot of really bad visual effects in movies, like for example, the majority of Justice League or that final fight in Black Panther. Those move yeah, the final fight in Black Panther. The final fight in Black Panther, I shit you not, was filmed like a couple of months before the movie came out, and they did not have enough time to finish the visual effects in that. And so a lot of bad visual effects when it comes down to is time and money. If you want to learn a lot more about visual effects and how visual effects could have become really bad, check out this YouTube channel called Corridor Crew. Like they do videos like VFX artists or visual effects artists react to great and bad CGI or whatever like that, and they are very insightful. They're very insightful on their visual effects and whatnot, considering they are actually visual effects artists. And even if it's a movie that is not well regarded by people as a whole, they still will praise the visual effects aspects of it. Like for example, even like the Lion King remake, they were saying like, these are actually some really really good visual effects work here. Like this entire film was rendered from the ground up. It's astonishing. And even with Aladdin, like the Aladdin remake, everyone when we got our first look at blue CGI Will Smith genie, he didn't look all that great. And even they said, oh god, he doesn't look all that great. But, however, they immediately went to the next trailer for Aladdin, where they showed more blue Will Smith genie. And keep in mind, that was like a trailer that came out like about a month after, the first trailer, or at least the first look at blue Will Smith genie. And they said, wow, see, like this genie, like now genie looks a lot better. Like he looks like the lighting is better. Just all of it just looks better. Again, check out Corridor Crew. They do some really good visual effects work. I know I took your rushed question and turned it into a CGI thing, but I don't know. Let's see. Try to pronounce my name and last name. Alexei Salava. No. Alexei Savala. Alexei Savala. Is that right? Alexei Savala? Or Savla? Zavala? Zavla? Zavla? Alexei? I know what. The first one has to be Alexei. Alexei Zavala? Zavala? Zavela? Zavali? Zavala? Oh, well. Would you like to see a Pokestar says, would you like to see a DC movie that shows the original origins of the character Doomsday? I don't care, honestly. If you're talking about the comics, I honestly don't care. Like, here's the thing. I actually don't mind the way they did Doomsday in Batman v Superman. I actually don't think that was a bad way of creating Doomsday. Was it accurate to the comics? Nope. But, however, I mean, it was interesting the way they did it. My main problem, though, was that they had Doomsday in the movie to begin with. Like, this was not a movie that needed Doomsday. Like, you could have pushed Doomsday off way further down the line. So, yeah, again, I don't really care what origins they take with Doomsday. I like the way they did it in Batman v Superman. My problem was just that, he just shouldn't have been in the movie to begin with. So yeah. My favorite, Nick SpongeBob, oh yeah. I'll respond to your reply that you made in the Spider-Man 2004 movie review soon. Wait, which one was that? Keep in mind, I don't really remember who you... I'm not trying to be mean. I legit, like, don't know who you are. I'm, like, granted, you're probably a new viewer to the channel, so that's probably why I don't remember you. Let's see, let's see, let me look through this. Let's see. Oh wait, Spider-Man 2004 or Spider-Man 2002? Maybe you did mean Spider-Man 2. Yes, maybe it was Spider-Man 2. Oh man, I just keep on distracting myself. I'm like, oh boy, I am just, oh. Oh. Oh, okay, yeah. Now I remember you. Yeah, I was, yeah, that stuff never made any sense to me. It never did make any sense to me. Again, I've said, like, I really don't want to keep replying in the, I don't want to keep, harping on that in the comment section. Just please keep in mind that, like, you know, my video is there. I've said my piece about Spider-Man 2. Nothing about that movie, like, barely anything in that movie makes any sense to me. So, there. I'm not gonna, like, it just does not make any sense to me, so, whatever. But there's that. Oh, I guess not because he didn't know about it. Yeah, I didn't know about Q the Serpent, or Q the Winged Serpent. I will reply to your Pooh's Heffalump movie soon. Oh, I don't know what that was either. Lol, it's Zavala. Alright, Zavala. Zavala. Yeah, there we go. I don't think Doomsday was bad either. I just want a movie that shows the comic version. Again, personally, I don't care because, like, again, for all we know, in the context of the movie, the comic origin might not fit in. It might not, like, just because it's accurate to the comics doesn't mean it's gonna work. Like, for example, you know, in the for example, like, nowadays, if you want to have Magneto, let's take Magneto for a second. Let's say if you want to have, you know, still have Magneto and do the Jewish concentration camps thing, you can't really do that anymore because Magneto will be like in his 90s. You have to, like, the thing you would have to do now is, like, change his origin story to where he experienced, still keeping an experience where he was scarred by humanity and how horrible it was, like, racially and how racially, you know, ungodly, how people treated people of other races, or other ethnicities or anything like that. Like change the origin story to a more recent event like that, to where it keeps the same impact, but however you're not breaking canon rules. You're not like it makes more it would make overall a lot more sense. So again, I personally don't care about comic accuracy or whatever. I just want to see a good way of doing something, and if it works in the film. I don't want to make judgment calls. I don't want to make judgment calls before a movie comes out because, for all I know, for example, another great example of this, Joker. The Joker's never had this kind of origin story before. I mean, well, he's barely had any origin story, but the one that we do have is Batman the Killing Joke. So let's take that, for example. Joker, the movie, is nothing like Batman the Killing Joke in terms of Joker's origins. But, however, they were able to pretty much recreate the character from the ground up and just do something really unique with it. And in my opinion, we should be, we should want our comic book movies to do something really different with our comic book movie characters, because there could be some really great, unique stories you can tell. So, and that's just my thoughts. Have you seen the original King Kong? If you're talking about the 30s version, no, I have not. I have not. I've seen the Peter Jackson one long ago. I have not seen it since, although I do need to. And I've seen Kong Skull Island, but I have not seen the original. There's been many versions of King Kong. There's the 30s version, there was an 80s version. There's also a sort of King Kong movie called, what was it called? Mighty Joe Young. But again, I've not seen the original King Kong. All I've seen is the Peter Jackson one and the and Kong Skull Island. Okay, Nick SpongeBob Personal says, to me, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was the only one that felt rushed because of the endings that feel similar to Infinity War. I don't know how it ever felt similar to Infinity War. I honestly don't see any resemblance to that. I get that it's not the happiest ending, but at the same time, I don't know, it didn't feel like Infinity War. And keep in mind, this movie was written and shot long before we knew anything about what was going on in Avengers Infinity War. Like, that shit was secret. I didn't feel like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was rushed. I just don't think it was, I don't know, nothing about that really felt rushed. It just felt like it just felt like bad writing because the writers just weren't talented. That's just what I gathered. So, yeah. Similar to that. Well, it's kind of like that because they both ended on a cliffhanger. I don't know if that has anything to do with it though. I don't know about a cliffhanger. Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, because there are many movies with cliffhangers and whatnot, and even I don't know. I think the cliffhangers for Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom and Avengers: Infinity War are very different. And even then, I don't really know what cliffhanger there is in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. The dinosaurs are out. There's that's it. I don't know. You could make an argument for Avengers Infinity War having a cliffhanger because it's they have to how are they gonna fix this mess or whatnot? But I don't know. That's just me. I want to see the comic origin of Doomsday because it's really weird and I want to see it in live action. Again, we should hamper our expectations, like I said, and just wait to see how it is on screen. Because for all we know, whatever movie they're going for, the original origin of Doomsday might not work at all. So there's a Japanese King Kong film. I didn't know that. I knew those Japanese Godzilla movies where they brought King Kong in there, but one of the things I'm so excited about is the next MCU Spider-Man is seeing J. Jonah Jameson again. I hope we do, because look, you know me, I don't like the Spider-Man trilogy. I don't like Sam Raimi's trilogy. They're not the worst comic book movies ever made. I'm not gonna say that, but I do feel. Well, I can't really say Spider-Man 3 is overrated because everyone hates that movie, but I do think Spider-Man 1 and 2 are, in my opinion, some of the most overrated movies ever made. I just do not like those movies. But I will say J. Jonah Jameson rocked. I love J. Jonah Jameson in those movies. He was fantastic. He always kept me laughing. He always kept me he was always, like, again, he was just the best part of those movies, in my opinion. He was so funny. And knowing that they're bringing J. Jonah Jameson into these movies, I think is so great. It's so funny. I just love this idea. And I love that they're making him like a Alex Jones kind of character now, because, like, the way they did and here's another example of comic accuracy, or, like, other source material accuracy. I don't know if you can do J. Jonah Jameson like they did in the Spider-Man trilogy back then now, where he's just a newspaper editor. Like, I feel like if you want to evolve the character, make him like an Alex Jones kind of character, where he's just sitting at a news desk and just ranting about, news with an angry voice. Like, I think that's just funny. I do love J. Jonah Jameson. I'm glad he's back. I hope we get to see more of him. I know Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Infinity War are nothing alike. I was just trying to rationalize what Nick SpongeBob said. Okay. What's a movie you would tell people never watch with other people in the room? Never watch with other people in the room. It would have to be one that's just, like, really disturbing to watch. Like, oh. Like, it's not even, like, a fun disturbing. It's just, like, you just kind of feel destroyed. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a bad movie. Like, there are great movies that I don't know if I could really watch that with other people in the room because of, I don't know, just something about it's just like, oh. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely some movies that you wouldn't want to watch with your parents. Like, don't watch, like, oh my god, I forgot to say this. I don't know if he's said this before, but if you guys know Raphael, big preach to Raphael, he once told me, again, maybe it's in a Hannahcast episode, maybe it's in a Hannahcast after show episode, or in another video, I don't know. But he one time, he did tell me that at one point he had never seen Eyes Wide Shut. Like, which is a Stanley Kubrick movie with a lot of sex. A lot of sex. And his family never saw it either, so they were like, And so, he I don't know what member of his, they were, he said that he and his family, went to see, sat down and watched, Eyes Wide Shut. And and from what he told me, none of them ever knew that was a movie with tons of sex. Like, orgies of sex. And if there's one thing you don't want to watch with your parents, that's just, like, it's movies with sex. Because it's just so, that image is just gotta be so uncomfortable. Just like, I can't look at anyone else in this room. I just have to look at the screen and hope to God it ends, because I want to die right now. Because, that story is really funny. So, I don't know exactly about, like, movies just you don't want to watch with people in general, but if you want to say, like, families, then don't watch movies with sex. Like, or at least, like, a lot of sex, like Eyes Wide Shut or 50 Shades of Grey. That's just probably not a good idea. Nick's one personal says, yeah, it was because of the cliffhanger ending, but it was because they came out months apart. But again, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, though. Because, like, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom already had its script done years before Avengers Infinity War came out. And there's, like, if you're assuming that, like, they made the ending because they saw the ending to Infinity War, no, that's not possible at all, because they could have never gotten those visual effects done. They could have never gotten all those visual effects done, and even then, no one knew the ending of Infinity War, except for the people who made Infinity War. So, like, I don't think it has anything to do with Infinity War. I really don't think I think I just thought it was a sloppy ending, but I don't think it had anything to do with Infinity War. Not a chance. There was, like, you could never, with the amount of visual effects and even in the ending of Fallen Kingdom, there's no way you could have made the effects as good as they were. What's a movie you think? What a movie you think is best watched with friends? Um, I'm gonna try and interpret what you said there. If you mean like what is the best movie you watched with friends? It depends on what who you are and who your friends are. If there's one movie I would love to watch with friends and whatnot, I would love to watch The Trump Prophecy. The Trump Prophecy is so hilariously stupid. It's so bad, but it's oh my god, it's so funny. It's so funny from how bad The Trump Prophecy is. If you don't know what that is, watch my review. Or even maybe I should try to re-review The Trump Prophecy at one point. Maybe try to do an audio commentary whenever the lockdowns end. Yeah. There we go. So yeah. Uh Pokestar says I was gonna ask what's a movie you should never watch with your parents, but I thought that would have been too weird. No, that's a legit question, and I guess I gave you your answer. Basically, just don't watch movies with sex. Like, just don't watch sex movies with your parents, because that's just gonna be weird. I mean, even if your parents aren't object to it, like they're not gonna get mad at you, like it's still gonna be uncomfortable. Because like I don't want to watch two people having sex with my parents next to me. I mean, granted, one of my parents is dead, but whatever. So yeah, don't watch sex with movies with your parents. That's just Raphael found out the hard way. He kind of found out the hard way that you shouldn't watch sex movies with your parents because he watched Eyes Wide Shut. Oh, God. I don't blame him. Again, none of his family knew. At least from what I remember of what he told me, he said that none of his family knew what Eyes Wide like they had never seen Eyes Wide Shut, so they could have never figured out that it was a sex movie. But it's just funny just to think about it. I would love to see Endgame with next one. A person says, "Oh wait, no. Pokestar says, what's a movie you hate the first half but love the last half, or the other way around?" Ooh, I don't know. Like, I can tell you a movie that started off with some promise, but then just took a slow nosedive into insanity and stupidity. Which, then again, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom kind of started off with some stupidity as well. Oh man, I don't know. So yeah, uh, yeah, ah. I know of movies where I like hate the ending. Yeah, there's some movies where like for example, I thought the ending to Us was so stupid. I like Us overall, but it started out great, but the ending to Us is so stupid. It makes no sense, which is weird because like this is coming off of Get Out, and Get Out was incredible. But weirdly enough, Get Out also had an ending where like whenever you watch Get Out, I'm not gonna say what it is, but whenever you watch Get Out, the ending you see was not going to that was not the original ending. The original ending was very different, and the original ending of Get Out was really stupid. But luckily, Jordan Peele changed it to where like the ending is reshot the ending, so it's like okay, cool, I like this ending. The ending to Us just didn't make any sense though to me. It felt like he was more focused on the message rather than the logics of that. Rather than the logic of the message. There's that. I would love to see Endgame with friends. Next one, personal says. I have nothing. I don't have much to say to that. I would like. It really depends on the friends you have and whatnot. My English need work. Me caveman. We kill for Boonana. Who? Oh dang. Yeah. Pokestar says, "Oh, sorry to hear one of my parents is dead." Oh, don't worry. If you're talking about my dad died in 2013. But don't be sorry about that. It was the best thing that could have ever happened in my life. Like yeah, like he was like if you were to see him at first, you wouldn't think he was that bad, but he was not a very progressive kind of guy, and he almost got me to believe in the things that he did, the horrible things he got me that he believed in. But when he died, it was a shock at first, but then as time went on, I realized, oh wait, Yeah, what he was saying was really bad, and it allowed his death allowed me to think for myself and become a better person, and led me to where I am today. And I would not change that for the world. And there's even some stuff about my dad that by people I know that were hinted at, and that really make me furious. Again, I'm not going to get into the details of that, but don't feel sorry about my dad dying. He was a bastard, and he died from high blood pressure. I should say he died from high blood pressure. But yeah, I don't really regret his death. I know it's kind of morbid to say, but again, like he was a bad influence on my life. He was a bad influence on my life. And again, if you were to see him initially, like he wouldn't be that bad, but it's just like, it's basically like he wasn't bad on the surface, but it was below, deep in him, that was bad. So there's that. Um, Next one, a personal says, uh, uh, Next one, a personal says that's all I got. Pokestar says, "What's a movie?" First, I'm gonna get to what you said below. Happy to hear that. It was one of the best. It was one of the best think to happen in my life. I don't know about a think, but it was a thing. It was one of the best things to happen in my life. Again, it's a weird way, but it's like the butterfly effect. If you if you change one thing in the past, you're not going you would drastically change the future. And where I am right now, I would not change my dad's death for that. I really wouldn't. I felt more bad for my grandmother, because she was still alive when my dad died, and I felt worse for her because I was her son. But yeah, what's a movie you thought you'd hate but love? Ooh, that's great. That's a great question. There's many. I have a bunch of these I could probably point out. There's what were some ones that I thought would suck, but I ended up loving. One of them was Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. Because, I never read Captain Underpants. I thought it was a stupid idea to make a movie out of it. Yeah, I thought it was a stupid idea to make a Captain Underpants movie. But then the movie turned out to be really funny. It was a really funny, really clever movie that kind of made fun of superheroes. I really enjoyed Captain Underpants. I really did. Another one that I thought would suck. Ooh, another one. And this is one of the big ones. God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness. Even though I don't love that movie, I like the movie, but I don't love it. But that's definitely one of the most shockingly good movies I've seen. Because here's the thing, I hate God's Not Dead 1. I hate God's Not Dead 2 even more. And so I went into God's Not Dead 3 with rock bottom expectations. And then, because with the first two God's Not Dead movies, all they talked about was hey, because basically the message of those movies was, hey, if you're an atheist, you're gonna get cancer and die, or get run over by a car, or you're just an asshole if you're an atheist, or if you're, and also try to say pretty shitty things about Muslims, which is really stupid because Muslims worship the same God as the Christians. And I'm not saying it in a way where it's they're basically the same thing. No, when you look at the texts of the Quran and the Bible, the Muslim God is the same God as the Christian God, and same thing with the Jews. Their God is the same thing as both of them. So it's I don't know why they were trying to make it, why the first God's Not Dead especially was trying to make a stance against Muslims, because it's what the fuck? They worship the same God. Yeah, there's differences in how the only difference is how they worship God. But regardless, I hate the first two God's Not Dead movies. But then God's Not Dead 3, for some reason, decided, hey, let's not make people of other faiths look evil. Let's actually try to be, let's try to, how I explain, it's let's actually, not be assholes to one another. And that's ultimately the message of the movie. It's not all of us believe in this, but you know what, let's just be good to one another. And it's so weird. Again, I still have a few problems with God's Not Dead, A Light in Darkness, but it's definitely one of the most shockingly good movies. But the number one movie that I thought would suck so badly, and then it ended up being fantastic, was Ouija: Origin of Evil. Which, if you don't know, Ouija, the first one, came out in 2014, and it was awful. It was so stupid. One of the worst movies of 2014, in my opinion. Then we got to, and then when I heard they were doing Ouija 2, I was like, oh god, Ouija 2? Ugh. And even me and Raphael were making fun of the fact that they were doing Ouija 2, like, whenever we saw, whenever we would see a movie in the theater, we're like, hey, look at that, it's a poster for Ouija 2, isn't that gonna suck? And then I saw Ouija Origin of Evil, and I was like, holy god, like, my god, this movie is fantastic. It's actually creepy and scary. It's just, even the final image, ugh, god. So, yeah, if I were to say the number one movie I thought would be so terrible, and yet it turned out to be really good, I'd say Ouija Origin of Evil. So yeah. Alexei Zavala says, I have high hopes for Venom 2 and can't wait to see Carnage making its first appearance to the big screen. I'm interested in seeing Venom 2 as well. I'm especially excited that Andy Serkis is directing it. Like, he's like the best motion capture actor out there. And now that he's doing Venom 2, oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm excited to see where his directing goes. So yeah. Oh yeah, Pokesaurus says, yeah, I understand. Just because you are related to them doesn't mean you have to love them. True, that is true. Like, everyone has a bad relative, or a few. Let's see, I meant to think, bleep. I don't know why you said bleep. Before I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I heard a lot of people say it's awful, but when I saw it, I loved it. Same with Godzilla King of the Monsters, and also Leo the Lion. I don't know I've never heard of a movie called Leo the Lion. But yeah, like, but yeah, I didn't like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And again, I'm mixed on Godzilla King of the Monsters, but again, it was, for me, a massive disappointment. Ooh, what are your favorite movie titles? I like It Comes at Night. Ooh. I mean, granted, movie titles don't really mean anything. Like, well, they don't really, in the grand scheme of things, don't really mean a whole lot, but ooh. What are some really good movie titles? Looking through here, I'm wondering if I have one over here. I know one. What are some really good? It Comes at Night is pretty good. Is a pretty good title. Just a title, like a title that just has a really nice ring to it. I like The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight's a really cool name. The Dark Knight. Ooh, another really good one is another good one. I'm gonna, like, in case you're wondering, I'm gonna try to put out the title of this one. It's a documentary short on Netflix. Hold on. Now again, this is good. You'll see the hold on, you'll see. Yeah, in case you're wondering what Heroin is, there's a movie called Heroin. It's a documentary short on Netflix, and if you don't know what it's about, it's actually a documentary set in Huntington, West Virginia. It's set in Huntington, West Virginia, and they actually filmed in Huntington, West Virginia. And it's about the opioid epidemic we have here, like the heroin epidemic. It's just a mess, and it follows these firefighters, many of them female, and they have, like, whenever they hear of an overdose, they have to go over and resuscitate them and bring them back to life, or like just pretty much save them from overdosing. And the reason why I really like that title, Heroin, is because when you see E in the parentheses, like, it can create a whole different meaning whether you keep the E or not. Because without the E, it's the drug heroin. And with the E, heroine is a female hero, and that's who the documentary follows, like these female firefighters who go and resuscitate people. And funny enough, I think if I'm not mistaken, we might have actually bumped into one of the firefighters yesterday on our way to hold on. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did. Hold on, let me pull this up here. Yeah, we did. We did meet. Yeah, we didn't say anything to her because she was trying to do her job. Because basically, if you don't know, um, let me just hold on. Let me man, I'm so sorry. I keep oofy boofy boo. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, I'll show you guys back here in a bit. But yeah, there's a Netflix documentary called Heroine, and we actually, if you see the woman on the far right, like there's a woman in the middle, and there's a woman on the left, a woman in the middle, and the woman in the right. We actually there was the like it was heavily raining in Huntington, and we go through an underpass under a train whenever we're trying to get to the stores and whatnot. Uh, and the underpass was flooded. Like it was flooded with water and whatnot. It was like really deep to where so deep in fact that where this one person who was driving their car tried to drive through it, and their car got stuck. It was some deep water. You could probably even swim in that water. The only reason why, thankfully, we were on the side, we were just walking, and, we were well above the water and whatnot. But on our way to Sheets, we actually, the fire department was there, and we actually did happen to see that lady, the one on the far right. We didn't say anything to her, of course, because she was trying to do her job, and we didn't want to disturb her. But yeah, she's the one from the documentary. Again, if you have not seen the movie Heroine, watch the movie Heroine. It's spelled like that. It's on Netflix. It's spelled like how I put it in the chat. It's a great documentary, and it was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Documentary Short Film. It was nominated for an Oscar. Which on one hand, yay, a documentary in Huntington, West Virginia was nominated for an Academy Award. But then, shit, it's about drugs and overdoses. So, yeah, but it is pretty cool, and we actually did see her, so it was really cool. That is a clever title. Yep, that is. And I guess if that's all everyone's got right now, is that, hold on, I'm just going to have to wait for you, hold on, actually, I'm just going to, I'm just so I can get a more instantaneous response. Let me just check my phone real quick. Alright, running dry. Okay. Anyway, guys, that has been the Hannahcast, episode 21. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching the Hannahcast. Before I go, I just want to let you know a few things. For example, I want you to smash that like button. Give this video a thumbs up. Give it that goddamn thumbs up, man. Come on. I need those likes. I need the likes. The algorithm is killing me right now. Also, please just go down here and subscribe. Just smash that fucking subscribe button. Because we want to get to 1,000 subs. We want to get to a point where we can start doing super chats and you guys can start using Google rewards to get Google Play revenue and use that for super chats. Just please hit that subscribe button. Tell everyone about my channel. Tell everyone about this video. Share this video, man. We need more subscribers. Just smash that subscribe button. And also, if you are subscribed, also smash that just hit that bell icon so that you can be notified of all videos and live streams that I have coming. Please, we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. Also, if you can't, since we can't do super chats, why not consider going to streamelements.com/christiansreviews/tip and just send me, like, a minimum of $2, and that can help support the channel. A lot of the revenue goes to me. And so, yeah, like, that would be really great. It's like a super chat, although you can't use Google Play points, you have to use, like, money and whatnot. But still, like, consider going to streamelements.com/christiansreviews/tip and tip me some money, because, man, we need some money right now. Money is great. Also, in the middle of shilling myself out, go over to my Patreon, which is patreon.com/ChristianTylerHannah, and consider becoming a Patreon supporter. The minimum amount is $2, where you can get your name in the beginning of my videos. Also, be sure to, if you want to go even further than that, then go for $5 a month, where you can get the Hannahcast After Show, the Hannahcast, audio-only edition, and anything else that we have. I'm even willing to take suggestions as to what we could do. Just please, like, do that for me. It would be so wonderful if you did. Just go to patreon.com/ChristianTylerHannah and just support the Patreon and help this channel grow. Also, if you want to check out any top 10 lists I have, or movie ratings, or movies I've watched, go to letterboxd.com/ChristianTylerHannah and be sure to follow me there so you can, see more updates. I'm always updating my lists. I'm always updating them. I'm going on. Anyway, guys, that will do it for the Hannahcast, everybody. And, yeah, I'm telling you, yeah. Wait, hold on, let me just... Alright, yeah, alright. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for the Hannahcast, everybody. Bye.